Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving straight into a brilliant feature inside IBM Maximo that's practically built to make your life easier: Maximo formulas. You know that feeling when you're bogged down writing a massive, complex automation script just to calculate one simple value? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, this explainer is for you. We're going to look at how these incredibly lightweight formulas can literally save you hours of time and give your system performance a massive boost. Let's get into it.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're covering 1. Introduction to Maximo formulas. 2. Attribute versus object formulas. 3. The magic of syntax. 4. The version 2 upgrades. And 5. Weather and meter integrations.
Section 1. Introduction to Maximo formulas, the lightweight solution for complex math.
Okay, let's start by laying out exactly where formulas fit in, especially compared to your standard automation scripting. Now, formulas aren't here to totally replace Python or JavaScript, not at all. Instead, they fill a very specific niche. They are designed purely for mathematical expressions. Think of it like Excel-like grammar to calculate numerical values. And the best part? No predefined variables needed. You let the scripting handle all your heavy-lifting programming constructs and complex logic. Formulas just step in when you need quick, dynamic math without the overhead. Section 2. Attribute versus object formulas. Where do they live in Maximo?
First up, we have the attribute formula. As the name implies, this is tied directly to one specific EMBO attribute. It's kind of like a launch point in scripting, but it works entirely automatically. So let's say you need to track how much an asset is over budget. You can just create a non-persistent attribute, let's call it over budget cost. Then you simply set its formula to year-to-date cost minus budget cost. And here's the magic. Maximo automatically understands that dependency. Whenever either the year-to-date cost or the budget cost changes, boom, your over budget cost recalculates instantly. Absolutely no extra automation scripts required.
Contrast that with the object formula. Instead of tying your calculation to a single configured attribute, this guy lives at the broader EMBO level. It basically acts as a dynamic, non-persistent expression. So, why is this a game changer? Well, it means you don't have to constantly jump into the database configuration app to explicitly create a brand new attribute every time you just want to store a quick calculation. You just create the object formula, and then, get this, you can reuse that calculation anywhere else in the system simply by adding the prefix $exp$ to the formula's name. It keeps your database super clean while giving you massive reusability. Section 3. The magic of syntax. Speaking the formula language.
So, the crucial point here, and this trips people up all the time, is the grammar. If you work with Maximo database relationships, you're obviously very used to the standard dot notation, right? Like relation.attribute. But the formula grammar is different. It absolutely does not allow the dot character. Instead, you have to use the $sign. So if you're pulling the last reading of a pressure meter, you write pressure meter $last reading. It's a really small tweak, but if you don't make it, your formula literally won't parse. Just a quick thing to keep in mind. But honestly, beyond the $sign rule, the whole language operates pretty much exactly like Microsoft Excel. You've got your standard math operators for addition, subtraction, division, and remainders, alongside logic operators like greater than or and. Plus, it comes with built-in functions. The if function takes your standard 3 parameters: a condition, what to do if it's true, and what to do if it's false. You have max, min, and duration to easily figure out time spans. Basically, if you can write a formula in Excel, you can write a Maximo formula. It really is that intuitive. Section 4. The version 2 upgrades, quality of life, and performance boosts in version 7.6.0.6.
Now, what's really interesting about these upgrades is how much they streamline the workflow. When formulas first launched, believe it or not, they couldn't parse text inside quotation marks. So if you wanted to check if a status was broken, you couldn't just type that out. You had to go and create a completely separate Maximo condition called broken status and then reference it indirectly. Clunky, right? Well, version 2 completely solves this by fully supporting string literals. Now you can simply write status equals broken right there inside your formula. It is so much cleaner and way faster to set up.
Another massive upgrade is something called lazy evaluation. Okay, picture this. In version 1, if you had a complex if statement, let's say, if open work orders are greater than 10, calculate the 10-day average meter reading, otherwise calculate the 10-hour average meter reading. Well, the old system would calculate all of that data first. It would pull the 10-day and the 10-hour averages before it even bothered checking the work order count. That is a huge, unnecessary drain on system performance. Version 2 fixes this by processing logically in steps. Step 1, it checks the condition first. Step 2, it entirely skips whatever branch is false. And Step 3, it only actually executes the required calculation. This completely protects your system performance from all those pointless database hits.
And sticking with performance for a second, version 2 also brought in built-in caching. Let's say your formula is really deeply nested and requires you to call the exact same function multiple times, like maybe checking if a 10-day meter average is greater than 10, and then later checking if it's between 5 and 10. Instead of making the database work for every single check, Maximo will now cache the result of that function on the very first run. For the rest of that single expression's evaluation, it just instantly reuses the cached value rather than querying the database again. It's incredibly efficient.
Version 2 also totally streamlined the statistical functions. We're talking about the introduction of SUMIF, COUNTIF, MAXIF, MINIF, and AVAGF. These make it incredibly easy to calculate metrics over a specific time frame. For instance, you can use SUMIF to sum up the estimated material cost of all open work orders for a specific asset, but strictly for the last 10 days. These new functions completely replace some of the older, much messier syntax from version 1, making your code so much more readable and easier to maintain.
Section 5. Weather and meter integrations. Connecting to the real world.
Okay, let's see how this all builds into something really powerful. Maximo version 2 actually integrates directly with IBM's weather APIs using federated resources. This is wild. With the WHAVG function, you can dynamically pull the average temperature over the last 10 days at a specific asset's exact service address. Or with WHT count, you can literally ask the system exactly how many days the temperature dropped below freezing over a specific time frame. Imagine the possibilities here. You could trigger maintenance scores based not just on an asset's age, but on the actual real-world weather conditions that asset has endured over the last month. That is a real game changer.
And of course, you also get native functions for internal meters. You can use meterval to pull the last reading of a characteristic meter. So you could easily check if an oil color reading is literally the string clear or dark brown. Or you can use meter_average_val to grab the continuous average of a pressure gauge over, say, the last 30 days. You can even use meter_exceed_count to count exactly how many times a pressure reading surpassed a dangerous threshold in the last year. And remember, all of this can be calculated in a single line of formula text without writing a single line of JavaScript. How cool is that?
So, we've covered a lot today. We've explored the intuitive Excel-like syntax. We've looked at massive performance upgrades like lazy evaluation and caching, and we've checked out those incredibly powerful built-in functions for real-world weather and meters. All of this leaves us with one final, very important question. What is the first automation script you are going to replace with a lightweight Maximo formula tomorrow? Take this knowledge, dive back into your system, and see what you can optimize. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy building.